Okay, good evening, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to the call for tonight. Sorry I'm running a little bit late, and we'll go ahead and get started right away. So if you have questions in particular, you can put them there in the live chat box. While you do that, I am going to put the live link inside of the group, and then we'll get started. If you have any questions about anything, you can go ahead and write it there in the box. Just say we are live. And we'll put it inside of the event here. Then we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, any questions? Any questions that you'd like to see us take a shot at? Any questions? I said in the newsletter, I do have a few questions from people, so I am going to go ahead and take those. But of course, if you're here and you have anything that you'd like for me to try to cover, just go ahead and write it there in the live chat box, right? The question area there. Okay, so I do have a couple questions. I'm going to start with them. And so let's go ahead and dive into those questions. Okay, so one question that came from, I think it was Paul. He said, can I import a video series from my hard drive directly into WPCourseify, or do I have to upload them to YouTube, get a URL, and then paste that URL into WPCourseify? And actually, what you're going to need to do, Paul, is you're going to need to get the URL. And what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to find a domain where I have this installed. And if you just give me 1 second, I'm going to pull up Courseify here. And I'll drag that over into the box, and then we'll do a little setup here. All right, so if I'm quiet, that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get the I want to get this part of the I want to get this open here. All right, so let's take a look at the dashboard. And we're going to go inside of WPCourseify Pro. I'm going to go inside of the, I think we can just go inside of the content area. All right, so we'll just go right inside here. We'll just kind of show you here. Either one of these places, I think we can go. We'll add a course. Then if I look at the course settings, what I'm going to do is what we would do here is we would add a lecture here. And in that lecture, then what we would do is we would actually add in some media, right? And so when you add the media, it's going to ask you, a source. Now, what you could do is you can put an embed code in there. But for the most part, all you're really going to do is you're going to put your YouTube or your Vimeo link in there. Right now, there are a few advanced features, but for the most part, you're going to grab the URL from YouTube, and that's just the YouTube URL. So, for example, we would go to YouTube and just grab, the URL. Say if it was this this video, we just grab that URL. I mean, nothing out of the ordinary, and we place that URL in here. Right, it's going to tell us what the dimensions are going to be. We're going to ask it to constrain proportions based on, the device that's actually watching it. And then we're just going to click OK. And then that's where our video is actually going to be for our content. Right, and of course, we can add other lectures. right? So once we add that one, if that's not all we want, we can definitely add another one. Right. So I'm not sure if you're here, Paul, but it really is as simple as that. If you're going to add content, the same thing would be true if you were going to do Vimeo. And actually, what I would suggest you do is do it this way. Now, they do have a way for you to import multiple videos from a site at the same time, but you would have already needed to place those video links in your site already. And by the time you did that, you'd be better off just placing them directly inside the course that you want to see in WPCourseify. Right. So if you're here, Paul, you have any questions about that, you can go ahead and write them there in the live chat box. Really, pretty much is that simple in terms of adding content. Okay. And I think I had another question here. Okay, next question was, I see you've deeply invested in OptimizePress. I already own the page builder, page membership site builder, Igloo app. It's OptimizePress a must-have or a nice-to-have to follow your courses. And most of the examples that I do using OptimizePress. I don't do that to advertise per se. I do that really because it really is easy to use OptimizePress. Now, understanding that not everyone wants to have a WordPress page builder, that part I understand. But if you're going to just build a page, and I'll kind of show you this here in a minute, we're going to go through a few things. And let's see. So, for example, to just build a page, and this is something I've been through numerous calls. We can either pick a template or we can actually put in, a blank template, right? So I could theoretically just click up and draw a blank template. I draw that blank template. I'm going to click create a page. And then, of course, what I can do is I can just start to add the elements, right? I'm going to add in columns. And then I'd add in the various elements, right? In this particular case, of course, I would start with a headline, right? So if I were writing a sales page, I'd write a headline, and I'd put my headline in probably in some kind of just general font here, and get all we have. And you'll experience ultimate bliss in your life, whatever, right? So I just want to put a headline in there. Then we click OK. And so what happens is, of course, we can kind of watch this as it appears. If we don't like the way it looks, we can kind of change some things around so it looks the way we want it. And once we do that, then we can get a sense for what it's actually going to look like by clicking hide controls. That's what that headline is going to look like. I can bring the controls back. I can publish the page. And then I can have that link viewed as I progress. Right. That pretty much, if you're going to use OptimizePress, and the reason I say that I think it's a good choice when it comes to a WordPress page builder in terms of business pages, that you have the ability to customize them and look professional. So it doesn't really take, I would say, real technical skills in order to do what I just did. In order to put a headline there, you might have to know what some of the elements are going to be. I'm going to talk about some of those elements tonight. But if you know what the elements are going to be in a sales letter, you can create a sales letter with OptimizePress. Right. And all you're going to be doing is adding in the elements. I mean, if you wanted to get fancy and you want to do 2 columns, 3 columns, whatever the case is, or you want to do one of these other things, I mean, you don't have to do that, right? You can do a single column and you can just go down the column. You can add stuff for your sales page, right? Very easy. I've just found it to be extremely easy to use. And I'm going to talk about a few of the things that, would help you here in this, in this presentation. So let's talk about PLR, OptimizePress and PLR on your sales page. Basically, what are we trying to do with the sales page, right? Evan Pagan says what you're trying to do is you're trying to enter the conversation they're already having, right? So that's what a sales page is for. So your sales page, you know, with all the elements, right? All the psychological triggers that you're going to have in it. And even if you don't think you're following psychological triggers, if you're copying a sales page, you're probably copying somebody's sales page that has those psychological triggers in them, right? So sales page is really designed for you to enter a conversation somebody's already having in their mind. That's what a sales process, that's what a sales letter is really designed to do. You want to assume they're on your page because they want to buy something. So in other words, it doesn't matter how they got there. More than likely, they landed on your sales page and they're continuing, they're listening to you, or they're reading because they already know you're going to be trying to sell something. So they're not there, you know, just because they want to prove you wrong. They're there to some degree, and you want to assume that when you're writing your sales letter. You don't want to write to the people who are not there to buy something. You want to write to the people that are there. And so assume that they're on your page because they already want to buy something. And what you're trying to do in the sales page, you're trying to hit their reason. So you want to write enough on your page, right, to hit enough of their reason to help them justify a purchase to themselves, right? So they're already there. You want to assume they want to buy something. And so you're going to help them justify it, right? And you can do that. I've pointed out to you that you can go and get David Fry's 12-step sales letter. It's free on the internet, just about every place. If you follow that format and you put that into your sales letter, you're going to write a better sales letter than you ever probably have written, right? I don't care how good or bad you are. You can write a better sales letter if you just take that list, David Fry's 12-step sales letter. You can Google it. I don't have a URL. If you can Google that, because I've talked about it in all my calls, right? Not all of them, but a lot of them, right? You've heard me say that before. And what OptimizePress is it is a template system so you can do that, right? That's what it is. It is a sales page system. One of the benefits of OptimizePress is that the video player is built in already. So you don't have to go and buy easy sales video. You don't necessarily have to buy a video player in order to operate this on your WordPress site. OptimizePress has a built-in video player. Now, you know, there are probably going to be some features that a video player, if you go and buy it outright, it's going to have that OptimizePress does not. But in terms of just getting your client to see the message, let me open up the video player here so you can see it. Just in terms of just being able to add in a video, it is more than adequate. And I think I went over this the other night. I can't remember who I went over it with. There is something called Flow Player, and it will appear someplace on your video player when you're playing it. You can actually get rid of that logo by buying a license. I think a license is something like 93 euros or $100, something like that. Not a lot. And you can actually get rid of the branding of Flow Player on your player. But if you're just pulling through YouTube, just pulling through Vimeo, you can actually just use one of the video players. Because the video player is built in, right? You're not going to have any problems either playing or auto playing the video. So for example, if I go in here and we have some choices, right? We can auto play the video. We can hide the controls. We can hide YouTube logo. So we can do quite a bit if we, as long as we have, and we're using the player. Right? Any questions so far? If there are, you can write them there in the live chat box there on YouTube. All right. Okay, so again, I mean, you can pull YouTube through there. You can pull Vimeo through there. You can pull Amazon S3 through the built-in video player. And one thing you're going to be doing on your sales page is that you're going to make sure that that video auto plays. And you don't have to go and get the code again from YouTube. You can actually just designate that to happen here in OptimizePress. Right? We click insert. That's all going to just help to get the movie to actually play. Okay, so with OptimizePress and with any sales page builder, you're going to be starting with a headline. You can do that with OptimizePress. Let me show you that. We just actually did that. So we just put a headline there, and everything there is already built in. So all we really have to do here is write in the headline for whatever it is we want it to be. We also can do subheadlines in OptimizePress. So if we want to put in a subheadline, let's say here, we can actually just write in headline, and we can find an appropriate subheadline format, right? Maybe something like this. And then we write in, get all of this now, or something, right? For a subheadline. Okay, now you see that's really kind of tiny. So in OptimizePress, we can go and we can size that up. And we don't have to guess about the pixels. All we have to do is to come in here to the pixel area, and we can just guesstimate how big we want it. Okay, so that's probably big enough. But once again, so you see then what we can do is we can actually implement a subheadline. Subheadline is really designed to break up the sales letter so that your viewer's mind or your prospect's mind doesn't get tired, right? So you can actually do that. Okay, you can also include graphics inside, obviously. I mean, you can do that inside of any WordPress theme, but you can do that inside of OptimizePress. All you're really going to do is you're going to go in here. You're going to add in an image. You know, you'll grab an image from someplace. You'll grab your product image. And then you'll insert. Now, one of the things that OptimizePress is, regardless of what the size is of this template, I can size this down. So you see it says 300 pixels. I could size that down to 150 if I wanted to. And if I did, I could do it right there. Right? So I'm just going to click Insert. And there is our, there are our graphics. So again, in terms of graphics, you can upload just about anything, JPEG, a PNG. What I would caution you in doing is uploading lots and lots and lots of big files. You will run out of your storage space quickly. So what you want to have is you want to have, an image, that is that looks as good as you can possibly make it, but you don't want to make it so that, it's got to be super high res, high depth, right? Because you will eventually run out of space if you're placing photos. Okay, now. Okay, I wanted to touch on the different colors, and maybe I'll do that next week. Which colors mean what in marketing, right? I've heard that red means stop and green means go. There's a reason behind those things, and we'll talk about that either in the next session or I will do a little training on that. Right now, you can actually write in the story. I mean, that's just probably going to be the simplest thing. In OptimizePress, you can write that in just by placing an element here. And you've just got a text box, right? You just want pretty much a text box, like a text, right? And you're going to write it in, right? Just pretty much whatever you want it to say, you're going to write it in. And of course, what you've got here is you've got the ability to make that text whatever you want it to be, and you've got the ability to make the text as big or small as you want it to be. Right? If you have any questions while we're going along, please write into the live chat box here on YouTube, and then I'll be happy to try to answer your question while we go. Okay, OptimizePress will allow you to put the bullets in here. Right, so we just look for a bullet block, customize it. Right, we can make it whatever we want it to make. And we can also get some other icons if we don't like these. I mean, there are others we can actually buy, and we're going to actually put in the benefit bullets. Right, so we can do that inside of OptimizePress. We can also do is we can also create boxes with proof. Right, boxes with proof. We can highlight boxes with proof. So, for example, Right? One of the things we can do is we can actually put the image with text aside. We can do two-column text, but basically, all we're really trying to do is we're really trying to create the sense that there is something. I'm going to actually find another element here. There's another element that I wanted to show you, and it is a feature block. So I can actually place a feature block, and I can choose how I want it to appear. And all we're really trying to do with a feature block is break up the thought process. We want them to look at this. We want it to be credible. And we can actually do that inside of OptimizePress in various instances, right? We want social proof, right? So we can actually do that inside of OptimizePress. So what we can do is we can just kind of go in here. We can do a testimonial. We can either do a slider, or we can do testimonials, straight. We can put it in the format that we want, right? So we can actually do testimonials. We can also do scarcity, right? We can inject scarcity into what we're doing. We can go to the top here, and we can actually add in a countdown, right? So I would just kind of go back here. We can add in a timer. Right, we pick the name and the time, then we just click insert. Right, and so we then have a clock, so we can actually inject scarcity. Let's see, we can take that out and just make a space out of that, right? Put 35 pixels in here. All right, so we've got a little space, and just so we'll be able to keep track of how it's going to look, we can click Hide Controls. If we want, we can save and continue. We can pull that public link out, and we can actually see what it's going to look like. One thing you'll notice is that the video has disappeared on the live page. That's because we have not put in there a Vimeo or a YouTube and saved it. So we need to put our link in there and save it before we actually expect to see it on the page. All right, and last, of course, we can also implement a guarantee inside of OptimizePress. So we would just kind of go to the element, probably someplace here at the bottom. Right, so they've got a guarantee box, and we can actually use it the way we want to use it. We can put our guarantee here. I'm sure I spelled that wrong. Right, we can style the box. Once we're done with that, we'll just click insert. Right, and so we've got our guarantee. Right, any questions? Any questions? I just wanted to kind of go through very quickly. And then I wanted to make sure that you kind of had a sense for what OptimizePress does. Samuel's question is, how much is OptimizePress, and does it come with WordPress inside of hosting, or a separate plugin you have to find? Okay, so OptimizePress is a plugin, and what you'll need to do is you'll need to have your own domain and hosting, and then you will then install OptimizePress either as a plugin or as a theme. So you can install it as a theme or a plugin. It's priced at, I think the price starts at $97. And what that does is, we'll kind of go there, and I'll let you see. I'll put the link in here since it's plrshow.com/OptimizePress. Let me put that in the box here. If we go to that URL, to take us straight to the sales page. We're not gonna let this video autoplay though. And I'm gonna go straight to the pricing. Okay, so if you go to the pricing, they say the core is 97. That gives you access to be able to put your plugin on 3 sites. I think you can go up to 10 on Publisher, and then 30 on 290 on the Pro level, right? So and what they'll give you credit. So if you go from 97, you can spend another $100 later and get 197. You can spend another $100 later and get the 297, right? So you don't. So it isn't like you're going to pay more if you don't get it right away. So if you get the $97 level because you're only going to use it on 3 sites, then just keep using it. And then when you get ready and you need to go up to Publisher, you can do that. Right. Currently, I have the Pro version. That's exactly what I did. I just stepped up. I started at 97. When I got over 10 sites, I went to 197. When I got to the point where 10 sites wasn't enough, I got to 297. Right. Now, you can also buy a developer's license, and the developer's license is, I think, another $249 if you want to do sites for other people. Right. There are yearly updates. Right, there are yearly updates that you do pay for. If you decide to become part of their template club, which I think is $17 a month, then you don't have to pay the annual fee. Right? Does that answer your question, Samuel? It's probably a little long-winded, but that's the short as I can kind of make it. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions about this? Okay. So once again, the URL is the plrshow.com/OptimizePress. And so you can actually pick that up here, the plrshow.com/OptimizePress, right, to get OptimizePress. If you are watching and you're not signed up to our daily newsletter, make sure that you do that. We talk about PLR every day, so you can get access to it at the plrshow.com. Just put your name and email address there, and you will get our newsletter, which comes every single day. We do coach on Thursday evenings from 8:30 to 9. We take questions, and then we take one training a week, and then we turn that into a product every month. So actually what ends up happening is, as a member, you end up getting, 2 of our products plus live training, right? So again, I mean, if you're looking to kind of get in there and kind of get moving with your PLR, you should go ahead and sign up. I think it's a pretty cool program that we have for you. You can join our Facebook group at groups/the PLR show. And our training channel, make sure you check it out. It's at youtube.com/gain-mindshare. Make sure you check out our channel. Go ahead and subscribe over there. And then any new PLR that we have, whenever we have new PLR, we put it at this address. I'm not even sure when or how you're watching this, if you're watching this live or if you're watching this by archive. Maybe you're watching this weeks later after we actually did it, which is cool. Whatever we have new in the way of PLR courses, you're going to be able to find it at that domain, the plrshow.com/new. Whenever we've got something new, you can pick it up at that domain. And of course, there's a content marketing offer available out there. If you haven't seen our bonus, our resources for that, you can pick up our resources at superfastactionbonus.com/content. And you can also pick up another PLR package, which is a proven profit system by Paul Counts, Eric Humlin. You can pick that up at superfastactionbonus.com/Paul. All right. So with that, thank you very much, everybody. Look forward to meeting with you again next week. If you have any questions about anything that we covered, please feel free to write it in. Or if you want to see me cover something next week, I'll be happy to do that. So once again, thank you very much, everyone. Have a great night, a pleasant tomorrow. Take care.